Your patch design can look perfect on a screen and still fail the moment it reaches an embroidery machine. Hairline details vanish, tiny lettering closes up, colors merge, and the border turns into a lumpy mess. A good patch maker starts with production-friendly vector artwork. Here is how to create it before you spend money on a sample. Most patch mockups hide the hard part. They show a beautiful textured preview, but the source artwork is a flattened image full of gradients, soft shadows, microscopic gaps, and shapes that cannot become clean stitches. The manufacturer then has to redraw it, simplify it without you, or reject it after days of back and forth. SVG Genie turns a plain English patch brief into editable SVG artwork. You describe the message, silhouette, size, border, colors, and production limits. Instead of receiving another decorative mockup, you get clean vector geometry. You can revise, send to a vendor, and reuse across embroidered, woven, printed, or PVC versions. Data4CO shows Patchmaker at about 2,900 monthly US searches. Yet the YouTube results focus on sewing kits, hour-long embroidery software lessons, and physical construction. The missing shortcut is the step before all of that, making bold, editable artwork that a real patch producer can actually interpret. The same workflow works for morale patches, club badges, workwear, outdoor brands, bands, sports teams, uniforms, events, merch drops, and small business packaging. The production method changes, but the artwork still needs a clear silhouette, deliberate hierarchy, controlled colors, and details that survive at the final physical size. Let us design a 3-inch circular patch for Night Owl Trail Club. The main idea is a crescent moon rising behind a mountain with the words Night Owl above and Trail Club below. It should feel rugged and modern, use no more than 4 thread colors, and remain readable on a backpack from several feet away. Now add the constraints that make the prompt useful. Thick closed shapes, large open counters in every letter, no gradients, no shadows, no hairlines, strong separation between. Colors, a bold Merrill-style outer border, and editable SVG output. Ask for a flat vector proof, not a fake photograph of an embroidered patch. A few seconds later, you have multiple clean directions. The moon, mountain, lettering, border, and background remain independent vector elements. You can enlarge the words, remove a fragile ridge, widen a gap, swap a color, or simplify the silhouette without tracing pixels or rebuilding the entire badge. Compare the files. A rendered patch mockup is useful for selling the idea, but terrible as production art. An editable SVG exposes every shape and spacing decision. Your vendor may still digitize those vectors into machine stitches, but they begin from intentional geometry instead of guessing where blurry pixels should end. Use this prompt formula. State the patch purpose, audience, finished dimensions, outer shape, exact wording, central symbol palette, border type, and production method. Then specify bold closed forms, minimum detail, wide negative space, outlined lettering, no raster effects, and separate editable vector elements. Constraints are what turn decoration into usable artwork. Print the design at its exact, finished size. Do not inspect it while it fills a giant monitor. If the words need zooming, the shapes become ambiguous, or 2 gaps visually collapse at 3 inches, they will not improve in thread. Simplify until the hierarchy works instantly at 100% scale. Treat every color like a production decision. Fewer colors usually mean cleaner separation, easier vendor matching, and lower complexity. Replace shading with solid shapes, use contrast to separate neighboring regions, and request the vendor's real thread or material chart before final approval. A screen swatch is only an approximation. Choose the edge deliberately. A traditional marrowed border works best on simple circles, shields, rectangles, and other regular silhouettes. Laser cut or heat cut edges support more intricate custom shapes. Keep critical artwork away from the edge and ask the manufacturer for their safe zone and minimum border width before locking the composition. Send the vector with dimensions, color references, backing choice, border method, and placement notes. Ask about minimum letter height, stroke thickness, open gaps, and the difference between embroidered and woven detail. The vendor, machine, material, and patch size determine the real limits, so confirm them instead of trusting a universal number from the internet. Always approve a physical sample. Inspect small text, edge definition, thread direction, color separation, border consistency, and how the patch behaves on the actual garment or bag. Photograph it in normal light and view it from the intended distance. Fix the vector or digitization before authorizing a full production run. Once the first patch succeeds, build a family. Lock the outer shape, type hierarchy, border logic, line weight, and color roles. Then vary the location, rank, event, chapter, or icon. A coherent vector system makes every new patch recognizable while preventing the subtle production drift that happens when each design starts from scratch. Because the master is SVG, you can refine paths in Illustrator, Figma, or Inkscape, convert type to outlines, merge overlapping shapes, and export the format your vendor requests, without losing sharpness. Keep the editable vector, exact dimensions, approved color references, and final production notes together as the source of truth. The payoff is not merely generating a cool badge faster. It is discovering weak details before they become an expensive box of bad patches. Clean editable geometry replaces manual tracing, vague mockups, repeated vendor corrections, inconsistent chapter designs, and a painful choice between accepting a muddy sample or missing a launch date. You can try SVG Genie free with no credit card required. After that, credit packs start at $9 with no subscription to cancel. If one editable master prevents a failed sample, saves an hour of redrawing, or becomes an entire patch collection, it has already paid for itself. So, do not order from a pretty mockup. Go to SVGGenie.com, describe the patch, dimensions, wording, symbols, colors, border, and production constraints, generate bold editable SVG artwork, print it at real size, confirm the vendor's limits, approve one physical sample, and keep the vector master for every future run and variation.